looking at the Cantillon effect. Reading out of the book in my glossary of terms and concepts, right? The price of supremacy, the economic principle describing how those closest to the source of new money, so banks, corporations, investors, benefit first and the most, while those furthest away, laborers, receive the money after its purchasing power has declined. My name is Ghetto Freeman, your humble white supremacy elucidator, helping Black America understand how cave supremacy seeks to mistreat us based on our color economically through one of the 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Shout out Neely Fuller. And so it is important and imperative to understand this, especially for Black America, when it comes to affordability becoming abstract. And so we see this being the case when we look at the phenomenon known as the K-shaped economy, right? Where we have investors, people who are on side of the stock market as it goes up in valuation, and their valuations and net worth goes up. So they're able to borrow against their net worth and thus spend at a higher level and rate than us, driving up the prices of even essentials, further driving those on the bottom leg of the K further into poverty and misery. The solution, or the way out of this, is to reduce your finances, get out of debt, and move closer to the new money as you can. So that way you can at least get more comfortable in your position on the K without sliding further down. The reason why those with investments are doing better than those who don't is because the stock market and the asset markets increasing in value is pulling them up out of the gravitational force of inflation and the standard of living increasing, because the people with more money is spending more money, thus more dollars are chasing the same amount of goods. You know, as ADOS, we don't have people explaining these intricacies to us, right? The caves barely got it because this is not well-known information. This is not well-known economic information. The caves barely got it, so we definitely ain't got it. So that's why I'm delivering it, because I came across it. And so it would be an injustice on me to not deliver this to my people. So for those wondering why affordability is becoming abstract and affordability is, becoming the way it is, and the economy and things like that, it is because of Cantillon, thus creating the K-shaped economy, raising the standard of living as the value of labor is depreciating. Because those who do not rely on labor are spending money and are, not only on essentials, but discretionary expenditures, right? Like luxuries and shit like that. And so that raises the prices of everything. This is compounded and directed particularly at ADOS and Black folk due to racism and case supremacy. So the Cantillon effect in and of itself is not a racist mechanism or a mechanism of racism, but the lack of awareness and the concentration through the Federal Reserve and lack of concrete information and knowledge is what causes and makes these effects even worse, especially for us who have a historical legacy of being down at the bottom. So when things like this happens, it only creates an even bigger chasm, right? So then we get into the racial wealth gap by assets and by incomes, and we can see this magnified even more, which is why I'm creating the Cantillon with a K counter program for people who are experiencing both sides of the K, or for people on both sides of the K, right? So whether you're on the top leg of the K or the bottom leg of the K, I have a program for you to not only make where you are more comfortable, but keep you from sliding further down. Because even if you are someone who is on the upper leg, that is not a guarantee that you're going to stay there, because inflation is going to stay high because the Federal Reserve wants inflation to stay high. And so, if you are not beating inflation and at a certain income level per capita and per household, then not only are you not in the top leg of the K, but then you are at risk of moving into the bottom leg of the K. And if you are on the bottom leg of the K, what is more important for you is gaining resources rather than trying to get money to gain resources. So understanding how cave supremacy is attacking us through the system of economics can help you better position yourself to have a different experience, right? And that is the whole point, right? Again, my name is Ghetto Freeman, your humble cave supremacy elucidator, helping Black America better understand cave supremacy so we are not confused by it. Stay young, stay pro-Black. Peace.